stuff starts to filter in, and then you see the guys. Yo, what's up, Dave? How you doing? Ham and cheese, sausage and peppers. I usually I live in the suburbs. My parents are in Haverford, so for me, it's about coming home and getting a home-cooked meal from my mom, which I'm going to get that tonight. Some homemade meatballs, some sauce, and maybe some cutlets. I asked her for cutlets, and she says it's too hard right now. And I said, well, you got to do the cutlets, or I got to start cooking the cutlets. And the guy who actually owns the Wizard World, he's really nice name is John. He thinks he can cook better than me, which is funny.
That should be a panel on its own.
That's a whole other cooking channel.
David versus John Macaluso on stage.
Throwdown.
A throwdown, yeah.
I usually go to like last night, we went to Dirty Frank's, which is an old school bar, and it's been around for a long time. I like to walk the streets, get a cheesesteak, go to Tony Luke's maybe, throw down a steak, get it inside out, without, a little provolone, no onions, ketchup, and just kill that. That's like once a year. So I usually leave Philadelphia with a yeast infection. But it's fun.
And I love that quote, taken out of context, is now on the internet.
It's all over the planet. Boreanaz has a yeast infection. Someone who went through hours of makeup and never complained. To me, when he first came on the show, I was like, who is this person singing these crazy cabaret songs and running around and just loving everybody? And, my character's like, Mr. Birdie, who are you? I can't do him anymore. But God bless his soul, as a person who was taken way too soon from us and the family of people that we worked with. And we used to have so much fun on the set, just talking, and I used to always look at the outlandish clothes that he had on, the different types of jackets, and he would have, his would be made by, Sid DeVore, or something crazy, like Armani. So we would compare and contrast, but his loudness of color that he was wearing on the outside was always fun. But he was a gentle person and was someone who I miss and I still miss. So I love him for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we're going to take a question from the Frankly Chat app. It's a social media platform that we're making use of. This comes from Jacob, who wants to know, what's the appeal of doing serialized TV for you?
Where's Jacob?
Here is Jacob. He might be at home, too.
Oh, we're just going at home.
He could be in the room, or he could be at home, but I'm just joking.
Okay, so what's it like to be serial?
To the appeal of serialized TV for you.
Serialized TV, like chasing serial killers? Or just
I think
episodic
is probably, yeah.
Episodic is a very difficult hour. It's tough. It's 22 episodes. I think in today's television landscape, we're narrowing it down to what the new fad in Hollywood is. Let's do a limited series. Let's just get a film actor, throw him in, we'll do a quick 13, and you're out on FX or on cable. And you win an Emmy, and then you'll be doing a big film, and you win an Oscar. Let's revamp that career of yours. I think that the films of today have become geared towards kids. I think the television of today has been geared towards adults. Growing up, for me, it was the Planet of the Apes, Starsky and Hutch. Fridays and Saturday nights was the best time to watch television, and that was for kids. Now, the writers have turned and the tables have turned a bit, and there's more value in scripted series that you can get out with content and character choices and get away with certain things. More on cable than you can on network, but the beauty of network television is that there's a bar and a challenge of you not to always drop an F-bomb or just ride that thin line. So for me, I enjoy the ride of it. The 22 episodes is very taxing, very grueling, mentally and physically, but it's worth it because it's being able to give back to you guys and enjoy a great fun show. And if you're lucky enough to do it, and I'm very blessed and fortunate, I've enjoyed that. So it's a fun ride.
Thank you, Jacob, wherever you are.
Kelly Love. Kelly. We're waiting, Kelly.
Okay. So my question was,
Kelly.
If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would your career path be?
I love architect, I love buildings, I love photography, and I love wine. I love farming. I'd love to have a tractor. I'd love to just walk the vineyards, berry, grow some grapes, and walk around with a stick. Kind of fun, right? That'd be cool. You pick grapes, have a grape.
One off the vine.
Yeah, pick one off the vine. Toss it up. Check its texture, its density. I probably want to be a winemaker that builds amazing buildings. It may come out a little crooked, but it would look cool.
This makes me want a glass right now.
Got the glass down there, right? Thank you very much. Thank you for the assist to my right. Very kind of you. Yes, thank you. I didn't really. I was always embarrassed. I think it's just a tough. You find yourself to do some things, and in Bones there was a few moments when I had when I think it was with Wendell and the cancer thing and going over that. I was beating myself up once over a particular scene that I didn't quite get or like, and we finally got it. But when you're acting in certain situations in certain scenes, you find yourself sometimes not really getting out and fighting yourself. That's where you gotta just kind of be calm. But I guess that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, you've actually done a ton of directing, and speaking of a challenge, is that like more of a satisfying challenge for you? And is that the direction you plan on going more in? Aside from being an architect winemaker, do you think you're going to veer more towards directing?
I find for me, it's really the enjoyable process of being involved with great people that are really attuned to a project, whether it's a film or a television series or a play on stage. And behind the camera for me, I really love directing. I love the composition of shots. I enjoy moving the camera around a lot. I'm a bit manic when I'm directing and acting at the same time. It's tough but fulfilling, and I love just getting everyone together on the same page. And the beauty for me is watching everyone who's doing their job do it to their fullest and being a part of that, because it's like a whole thing. I operate very much like in the sports metaphor world. For me, it's a team effort, and people have heard this all the time. Hard work really does pay off, and everyone has to be on the same page. And if you're not on the same page, then that's where the problems start to kind of go, right, you have to pick that up. But directing for me is something that I really, really enjoy and definitely love to do more of.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hi, David.
Hi.
My name's Elaine, and my question is, where did you get a lot of your character development for Booth? Because he reminds me of Mulder sometimes, and I'm like, did you watch The X-Files?
Mulder?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Never heard of it.
How dare you? Eject. And Supergirl goes flying through the roof of the convention.
There's actually a pit.
But the big story of Action News tonight is Supergirl went flying through the convention room because of a Mulder question. No, I never really thought of it that way as far as him being relevant and close to Mulder. I didn't think about it. For me, it was really about finding his quirks and his tics through his personal experiences. When Emily and I first started the show, we worked with an acting coach by the name of Ivana Chubik, who we allowed us to kind of get into the roles and always maintain the characters. Our characters would always go back to each other, and that is the purpose of our show. Fox really wanted to turn it into this X-Files kind of show. They wanted it to be more of a serious drama. And, I remember, like, season 1, I was doing a scene, I was interrogating somebody with a Super Bowl. I was throwing Super Balls over the interrogation room, and while it was internally good for me, and I was using it, in Daly's heart's like, what are you doing? You can't be throwing Super Balls all over the place. I said, well, that's what Boots would do. It's a tactic. He's like, no, you wouldn't do that. So I experimented a lot. Things worked, things didn't work, and through trial and error, you find that.
Well, I can't say Booth is sexier than Mulder, so.
That's very kind.
Nice save.
Supergirl comes back to the convention floor. She walks to the front, takes a seat next to the woman who says, "I'm hot." This is an exciting convention, isn't it?
I feel like we're doing the DVD commentary